Guess who's back? Back again. Bruce is back. Tell your friends. Bruce Boudreau joining us here on NHL Now. How you doing, my friend?
Hey, it's always great to be with you guys. I miss it there, but I'm having fun here, so I think I'll stay here for a little while longer.
Well, that's good, and things have been going well. I mean, how are you doing with all this that's gone on? I mean, you were rolling along, 6 in a row. They had the chant going. You said you don't like it. We kind of think you might, but who knows? What do we really know? But, things are going good, and now it's a break. So, I mean, how are you feeling about things for that? Does this come at a good time for you or no?
You know what? It's a double-edged sword, EJ, because, I mean, we should have our full team back by when the break is over, and we play on the 27th. At the same time, I think we would have caught some teams if we had been able to play at a time where they wouldn't have wanted to play. So it would have been nice to keep the momentum going, but it's every game is a new game, and I'm looking around the league and teams are winning with half their team, and it's just how much you want to play and how badly you want to win. A lot of times is the formula to win these days. So I mean, I think we had 2 practices this week, and they were really excited about practicing. So I think we'll be ready to play when we play Seattle on the 27th.
Now, Gabby Weeksy here. Eej, do me a favor. Just check this pocket. Do you see a check in there?
No.
We're waiting for our commission check back here at NHL Network. Gabby. We're waiting for.
Hey, when I get my first check, you'll get yours.
All right. Hey, you know what? I love it. Because 1 minute we're sitting beside you, Jameson and I, and Jackie and Eej and the whole crew. Next thing you know, presto changeo, you're gone. But we're happy for you nonetheless. Take us inside. The big thing that you've been trying to impart on your club. Is it enthusiasm? Is it fun? What is it so far?
I think the biggest thing is belief. If you look at the roster, and everybody has talked to me before I got here and during about, you know what, you got some really good pieces on this team. And I think they lost the fact that they realized that there's some really good players. And once they start believing that they're good players, good things happen. And they start playing like it. So, I mean, I think confidence was, when you're losing, you lose your confidence no matter how good you are. But, I mean, I think they lost a little bit of that, and hopefully they're getting a little bit of it back and a little bit of a swagger when they play. And that you can't play on your heels in this game. And, so we want to be an attack team and play with confidence. And so far they've done a good job of that.
I'll tell you what, from where we're watching, this is a new vibe, Vancouver Canucks. They are certainly starting to play with much more swagger. Winning will do that. And, of course, dominating the headlines is guys like Besser and Pettersson, who are finding their scoring touch, scoring goals. And we're always going to talk about the goalies. So I'll ask you this. Who's a player out in Vancouver that you've been impressed with that maybe we aren't talking about?
Ooh, you know what? Tyler Myers is my guy in that situation. And it's really funny. I mean, through necessity, 3 of these 6 games, we've been down to 5 defensemen early in the game, so he's played an exceptional amount of hockey. But, it's funny. I was talking to Scotty Bowman last night, and he was bringing up his name and saying, he's a big guy, and big guys need big minutes to play, and playing great for you. And I agreed with him, and it just dawned on me that, because I've had conversations with other players that are big players, when they sit for a little while, they get cold, and big guys need to play. And Tyler's played a lot, and he's been exceptional for us so far.
All right, Bruce, I know during your time in Mini, towards the end there, goaltending was a challenge. That happens. Guys, they play very well. Sometimes they underperform. It's a struggle. And as a coach, a good goaltender, right, Weeksy? A good goaltender makes everybody better. Totally. So it must be nice now to have Thatcher Demko playing at such a high level since you got there.
Well, you know what? You're right. But to make a long story, question, he's been unbelievable. But I first noticed him when he was in the bubble and he got those 3 shutouts in a row. But didn't know if that was just sort of like rookie luck or whatever. But here's a guy that not only has played very well for us. I mean, his numbers. He's played 5 out of the 6 games, and you can look at his numbers with, a 950 area save percentage and an under 2 goals against average. But I mean, here's a guy that in yesterday's practice, we practiced for 50 minutes, and then he stayed out an extra half hour, and he was on the ice a half hour before practice. He loves to play. He loves the work. And I mean, when you get that enthusiasm and a guy that wants to get better, and Ian Clark is a great goalie coach for him. It's outstanding stuff that he does. That he's been a real treasure and a real pleasure to watch every night.
What's the biggest thing that you learned from being here prior to getting back into the saddle in Vancouver that's really helped you kind of complement what you're doing there to have success?
Wow, it's a tough question. I work with great people at the NHL Network. I will tell you this. And the best thing is how much I missed being part of a team in the battle every night. And I thought at the NHL Network we had a great team. I was talking to somebody about it yesterday, and I was telling them how welcome they made me feel, and everything we did was we were doing it for each other. But you get that feeling, and then you want to be back with the team and do the same thing. And I think that's the thing I miss the most, and it's the thing you learn about how much you want to be back in the saddle again. I don't know if that answers your question, but I mean,
no, it does.
That was great.
Yeah, it does, because I can't even imagine what it must like to be in the battle with an NHL team night in and night out. And to respond to the kind words that you just gave everyone here at NHL Network, we miss you. Like, you're so fun to work with. Your passion for the game is so genuine and real. It's unbelievable. So we really miss you. But I gotta know what style we're rocking. I mean, he's got the turtleneck on. EJ's rocking the sharp blue. What are you rocking?
Yeah, give us a little visual.
You know what? I don't have all my clothes here, so but this is my Hershey Cubs junior team's logo.
Sweet.
And everything.
Very nice. Love that. Vintage. I love it.
Outside, and as you know, in Vancouver, the temperature down here is not quite what it is in say Minnesota, and so you can walk around with a hoodie. You don't need the coat and the gloves and the hat and everything else. So
it's nice. It's like a chocolate brown.
Yeah, that's nice.
I like that.
Well, fitting.
With the cream. Yeah, of course. Very fitting. Absolutely. I love the vintage logo, too, by the way, guys.
Yeah, very nice.
Yep.
Very nice. Hey, Bruce, I got to ask you,
You can buy them online.
Plug it. Get the plug out.
Do you have any XLs left? That's all I need to know.
Well, listen, if I'm a 2X, you're more than an XL, my friend.
Pew, pew.
Boy, wow.
So good.
Wow, that took a turn.
The best part about that, the commission just went up.
I know, that's right. The commission just went up for weeks, so that was good. Hey, Bruce, let me ask you, before, you ended up in Minnesota there, you were kind of counting down, hoping to get to 1,000 games. Unfortunately, you end up leaving there. You didn't quite get through, about 16 short. Now you're in Vancouver. You're back on track for that. I think doing the math, your 1,000th game could come against the Washington Capitals in Washington, which would be incredibly fitting, seeing that's where you started your NHL coaching career. But I wanted to ask you, as someone who kind of scrapped and battled just to play a little bit in the National Hockey League, to have gone on now and to think that you are going to coach in 1,000 NHL games, what does it mean to you? Because I would think it would be even more based on the run-up that you've had in your life and your career.
You know what? I mean, not to talk about myself, but obviously it's something that means a lot to me, which is one of the reasons that I was a little ticked off in Minnesota. But I mean, it is a number that seems to be celebrated, whether you play or whether you coach 1,000 games, and you think when you do that, it feels like you've made it, and you've been in the league a long time, and so for it to be in Washington now, I mean, I don't know if it was fate that they canceled these 4 games, and you started in Washington, and you get your 1,000th in Washington. I don't think it could have been scripted any better. So I mean, it's going to be a cool moment. but especially if we win that game, it'll be even cooler, quite frankly. But we'll see how it goes. But thanks for bringing it up, EJ. It's I know my family thinks of it as a pretty big deal. So if they think of it as a pretty big deal, I got to think of it as a pretty big deal as well.
That is a huge deal. And listen, I talk to coaches all around the league. A lot of my buddies are coaching and GMing and everything else, like Scotty Walker, who I played junior with, who's your assistant coach. But from a coaching standpoint, when you go into the room in a game like that, it's a big, monumental game. On the whiteboard, maybe tell the fans, on the whiteboard, what do you put on the board? I know if that's a player, it's a sizable number that you put on the board if it's a player. But as head coach, HC, I mean, what does that look like, Gabby? Bring the fans a little deeper inside.
I tell you, it's against salary cap violation.
Here we go.
Put a number on the board at that point. I think Ron Wilson a few years ago got dinged for putting a number on there.
Is it dinner? Are there steaks? Is there lobster? You're out in Van, amazing seafoods.
Is there a drive-through?
Yeah, exactly. Is there a drive-through?
Hey, we're in Van. It could be Swiss Chalet or Harvey's.
I miss Swiss Chalet so much. You just hurt my heart.
Two of my faves.
I might have to have some of that. Quarter chicken dinner with fries. Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I might have to do that when I go home tomorrow.
Well, I have the salad. I don't know what you guys have there, but they got a great salad.
They just sit
Whatever. All right.
Well played.
Listen, before we let you go, I am supposed to go to break here, but when Bruce Boudreau's on, you blow the stop sign.
That's right.
Where's he got to go?
Last time, there's no games tonight.
There's no games. Hang out with us. Where are you going?
Last time you were on the show, Bruce, we got into a WWE conversation. And I know you're not on Twitter, but I posted the clip, and it kind of went everywhere. And what I learned is that there are a ton of WWE fans that are also fans of the Vancouver Canucks. Yeah. They ate it up. So before we go, everyone knows now, just so you know, that you love Kevin Owens. Who else? Give me two more WWE superstars that you are a big fan of, and why?
Oh, well, Bret Hart was my biggest fan, or I was his biggest fan. Quite frankly, A, he was Canadian, and B, I just love his in-ring ability to talk. And all of these guys that are great talkers are fabulous. But and just for the antics, Stone Cold was my other guy. I mean, I just thought he came up with some of the most unique things to tick off Vince McMahon. And even though I know that some of it is made up, that
I don't know what you're talking about.
Still pretty entertaining to me. And I love those guys with the great personalities.
Here, just an idea, and I don't know if it goes against, the CBA or league rules. But 1,000th game, you do the Stone Cold, 2 beers, crash them up, throw them back, do it on the bench. I mean, you'll go down in history for your 1,000 games and for a Stone Cold celly.
You know what, though? The thing that's not so great about that is I wouldn't get to coach game 1001.
You don't think Gary would appreciate that? Bruce, you are the absolute best. Listen, I will do it. At home, I'll watch the game, and I will crash the beers together. Absolutely. Why not? I'll do it for you, Bruce. And I'll take a video. I'll send it to you. But thanks for coming on. We appreciate you so much. Congratulations. Have a happy holiday and a happy new year, and we'll be seeing you around the corner.
Well, I appreciate it. And you guys, too, have a great holiday and Christmas, and really enjoy it, and hope to see you in the new year.
All right. Thanks so much, Gabby. Take care, man.
One of the best.
Bye-bye.
Bruce Boudreau.
Yeah.